Good morning, first grade. Today for math, we are going to be taking a look at counting by fives. And then we're also going to be taking a look at something new called tally marks. So let's get right to it. First, we need to know how to count by fives. And you might say, Mrs. Friedrichs, we already learned how to count by fives. And I might say, yep, you're right, but we're going to look at it again. So when we count by fives, you're going to notice that every number is either going to end in a 0 or in a 5. That is on purpose. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And I could keep going. I could say 45, 50, 55, 60, right? And I could keep going down, 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 down. What I want you to notice also is that in this tens spot, this spot here, you're going to use that number twice before you have to go up to the next number. So you can see here, this would be like I have a 0 in front of it. So 0, 5, 10, 15. Now I use the 0 and the 5. I have to go to the next number here, which is 2, add a 0, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, now I have to go to the next one. I used 4 twice, 50. But remember, anytime you're counting by fives, your number is going to either end in a 0 or a 5, okay? Now, we'll practice counting those one more time. We're just going to count to 50, and I will move the board as we need to so that you can see it. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. All right, now you might say, Mrs. Fraser, what does counting by fives have to do with tally marks? Well, guess what? In order to have a group of tally marks, you need to be able to count by fives. So this is a tally mark. It's a line that goes straight down. And it is equal to 1. So right now I have 1, 2. Now I have 1, 2, 3. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. But now here's the thing. When I get to 5, when I'm talking about 5 of something and I want to make them into tally marks, I have to do that. That means it's a group of 5. So when it looks like that, that is a group of 5. Okay? And if I have 2 groups of 5, now I'm going to count by fives 2 times. 5, 10. So how many tallies do I have altogether? I had 10 tallies. Okay, so that's what we're going to be practicing today. Now, if you have a scratched sheet of paper that you would like to use to help you to practice your tallies, that would be fantastic. So if you know that you have a scrap piece of paper somewhere, or you have an extra piece of construction paper, or just regular paper, you go ahead and you grab it and come right back so that we can practice these tallies. Okay, so we said that each one of these lines is equal to 1, and that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you'll notice when I write them, I wrote them pretty close together, but they're not smushed on top of each other. That would be really hard to know how many tallies I have, and it looks more like grass that I would put when I'm going to make a tree, right? I don't know what that is. They're too close together. I also don't want to make them like this. That's too spread apart. So you want to have them looking very similar to what I have there. And then when we get to tally up to 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, tally up to 5, I want to go from the bottom corner, diagonal up through the other 4. And that shows me that I have a grouping of 5. Then when I want to make my next grouping of numbers, say that I have 8 of something total. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, tally up to 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll notice that I left a bit of a space in between my group of 5 and where I was starting with my next one. That's so that you know where your group of 5 is, and that's what is separate, and then you can keep counting. You don't want to get them mixed up, okay? So it's really important that you're really careful with that, because if I do this, well, that's really hard to tell what's the group of 5, or if you knew that you were working with a group of 5, right? So make sure not to do that. So those are just some tips and advice and rules about tallies. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, I'm going to give some numbers and we're going to make tallies out of them. I'll do them on my board. If you have a sheet of paper, you go ahead and practice writing these also, please. The first number is the number 12. So we need to make 12 tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, tally up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, tally up to 10, keep counting, 11, 12. And when I get to that number, I have to stop. It's okay if you didn't make a group of 5. These are groups of 5 here, aren't they? They're each worth 5, and these are worth 1. Okay? The next number that we want to look at is the number 20. Okay, we want to count. We want to make 20 tally marks. Remember, each group of 5, we have to bundle them. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, tally up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, tally up to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, tally up to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, tally up to 20. How many groups of 5 did I make to get to 20? 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to use 4, make 4 groups of 5 to get to the number 20. Okay, I didn't have any left over. I didn't have any extras. Let's try one more. How about, this is going to be kind of tricky. It's going to take a lot more tallies than you're used to. Let's erase this. I'm going to turn my board to the side, and we are going to make the number 36 with tallies. 36. I'm going to use something besides the green here. I'm going to use black for this one. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, tally up to 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, tally up to 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, tally up to 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, tally up to 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, tally up to 25. 26, 27, 28, 29, tally up to 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, tally up to 35. And we have one extra 36. Now you can always double check it. Count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and one more makes 36. Okay, so how many groups of 5 did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 7 groups of 5 tallies. 7 groups of 5 tallies. Wonderful job. We will keep practicing this with our math sheets, and we will start to be practicing this also in our calendar time. So make sure that you're paying attention, make sure that you're practicing this with us, and we will get really good at this together. Okay, first grade. So now that we are done working with our tallies, it's time to take a look at our guided class practice. So I need you to go ahead and get your name on this paper, and then I would also like you please to put the date. Today is October 20th, 2020. October 20th, 2020. Make sure that you get your name on your paper. I will write my name on as well. Okay, date October 20th, 2020. We're going to go ahead and get started with number 1. If you need to finish writing your date, you go right ahead and do that and push play. And let's get started. We need to figure out what we need for our first problem. It says, Sean has 2 dimes and 5 pennies. Stephen has 3 dimes and 4 pennies. How many dimes do the 2 boys have altogether? Draw a picture and write a number sentence for this story. Write the answer with a label. Okay, what did it ask us for? Did it ask us for pennies or did it ask us for dimes? It asked us only for dimes. Dimes is our label, okay? Now let's go back and let's put a box around the dimes stuff. Sean has 2 dimes and 5 pennies. We don't need to know about the 5 pennies. Stephen has 3 dimes and 4 pennies. We don't need to know about those pennies either. We only need to know about those dimes. How many dimes do they have all together? If we need to know all together, we want to add them up. So Sean had 2 dimes. Stephen has 3 dimes. How many dimes? It says how many dimes. It didn't ask for how much money it was. Okay, it asks us how many dimes it is. So how many did we start with? We started with 2. So 2 dimes plus how many more dimes? 1, 2, 3 equals how many total dimes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dimes. And then what will the answer be then? How many dimes do the 2 boys have all together? They have 5 dimes. Okay. We're going to move to number 2. If you're still writing on number 1, pause and finish writing and then join us back for number 2. It says, draw tally marks to show 13. It even bolded it so you knew exactly what we were drawing tally marks for. 13. We need to make 13 tally marks. Remember, we're not just going to draw single tally marks to 13. We have to group them in 5s. Okay, so here we go. We have to get to 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, tally up to 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, tally up to 10. 11, 12, 13, stop. Right, we're stopping at 13. You can see we have 2 groups of 5 and we have 3 singles. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Number 3, write an addition and subtraction fact family using the numbers 11, 6, and 5. Remember, addition family. We need to make 11, since it's the largest number, it needs to be the sum. It's the answer. And then remember, in subtraction, 11 has to be what we start with. It's the biggest number, and we need to get smaller in subtraction. So let's start with our adding. We have 11, 6, and 5. Am I going to say 11 plus 6 equals 5? Absolutely not. That would be so silly, wouldn't it? My 2 small numbers need to equal my larger number. So 6 plus 5 equals 11. And now I need to flip my add-ins around. And I need to start with 5. 5 plus 6 equals 11. Those are my 2 adding. And now I need to subtract. So I need to start with my largest number, which is 11. 11 minus 6 equals 5. And what is the other way to write that? I still have to start with 11 and the subtraction sign, but I'm not doing 11 minus 6 again. This time I'm going to say 11 minus 5 equals 6. Okay? 2 adding, 2 subtracting. Number 4, which number on the thermometer is the temperature closest to? Okay, take a look. It looks like it's in between 0 and 10. Is it closer to 0 or is it closer to 10? Right, it's closer to 10. That needs to go right there. It's closer to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 5, how much money is this? I see dimes and I see a penny. Remember how I taught you sometimes it's easier to separate it so that you can see what you're working with? How much is a dime worth? A dime is worth 10 cents. A penny is worth 1 cent. So now I'm going to start by counting my largest group of money, which is right now the dimes. So I have to count by tens. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40. Oop, now I have to switch my thinking. I have to count by ones now. Start at 40. What comes after 40 counting by ones? 41. So how much total money is that? 41 cents. All right, we're to the bottom. We have to look at these letters that are down below, and we have to answer what these questions are asking us. It says, what is the fourth letter? Fourth letter. That means I'm starting over here, and I'm counting first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Fourth letter. First, second, third, fourth. The fourth letter is S. What is the sixth letter? Well, I'm going to start at 4, and I'm just going to keep counting until I get to 6. The sixth letter, 4, 5, 6. Sixth letter was M. You'll notice I'm making uppercase letters because that's the kind of letter that was shown right there. What is the second letter? First, second. That's the letter A. What is the ninth letter? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. Ooh, sorry about my circling. The ninth letter is R. And then it says, what is the 11th letter? Well, I'm going to start at 9. I'm just going to count till I get to the 11th. 9th, 10th, 11th. The 11th letter was T. Does anyone know what word that is? Let me write it this way for you. What word does that say? Smart. Ooh, it has an end blend. Smart. 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 Just like you guys are so smart, and you're doing such a great job on these sheets and learning. All right, now on the back side, this is your work. Remember, today was October 20th. So make sure that you get October 20th written on your date. Sure your name gets put back on it. Your tally marks on this side, you're going to 17. These are your 3 numbers you're using for your adding and subtracting for your fact family. Divide your money, that'll help you. And then you need to do the same thing down here. Remember, we always start over here for ordinal position. This is first, okay? All right, when you're done with this back side, please go ahead and make sure that this gets put into your Tuesday folder.